Boy, soccer fans are pissed, and Astros fans should be pissed, and fight fans are definitely pissed, and it's a pissed off Monday on Barry on Deck and Lego.
Live from the BiffNet Studios World Headquarters in Spring, Texas, it's Barry on Deck, hosted by former ESPN Houston radio host and stand-up comedian Barry Laminack, starring Oliver the Cat. Written by Barry Laminack, produced by Barry Laminack, directed by, you guessed it, Barry Laminack, featuring sports, entertainment, special guests, film sessions, and some drinking. Okay, a lot of drinking. Viewer discretion is advised. And now, here's your host, Barry Laminack.
What's up, you damn dirty deckheads? Welcome to Barry on Deck. I am your host, Barry Laminack. Thank you guys for being here. Today is Monday, April 19th, 2021, and this is episode number 235 of Barry on Deck. I am excited. We have much to discuss today in the way of sports and non-sports, and after the fallout of the moderator apocalypse of 2021, we sit right now because my stupid ass forgot to add moderators back. I'm hearing echo, by the way. Are you guys hearing echo? I'm hearing some echo. So if you hear echo, let me know. I'm happy to fix it. And well, now my mic stand's already fucked up. Start the show. What a fun time. Hey, I hope you had a good weekend. I had a pretty interesting weekend. Relaxing, I guess, would be part of it. Got some work done. Okay, good. No echo. A lot of stuff to get to today. Specifically about sports that a lot of you may not care about, if we're being honest. We need to talk some baseball, specifically Houston Astros. We need to talk some MMA/boxing, and we need to talk soccer. And I know a lot of you don't give a shit about any of these, and rightfully so. But we're going to get to all of that. Plus, I got some non-sports stuff to discuss with you as well. But like we always do, let's start the show off with the chat, and let's find out who is the greatest deckhead in the history of the world, at least for the next 2 hours? It's my dude, Keith Sager. Mr. Lawn Talk himself, Mr. Inventor of the $5 Friday. Yeah, Keith, congrats, homie. Thank you for being attentive and on time and first in the chat. You are the greatest deckhead I've ever not met. Have we? I don't know. Hey, he also got the Triple Crown, by the way. D-Mata, D-Mata is like the quintessential Congo blocker. He doesn't want anyone getting a Triple Crown if he can't have it. I'm here for it. I like it. But he didn't get the block today. Keith Sager got in early, and he is here, and he is the Triple Crown winner. Jeff Bell, mark it down, and D-Mata can suck it. That's just how it goes. But let's do the rest of the chat because we do have a lot to get to, and I actually had to get a reminder because I don't remember what happened on the show Friday. I don't even remember what we talked about outside of the whole moderator debacle. I have got to stop drinking so much on this show, specifically on Fridays. It gets a little out of hand. I get to the point where I don't know what's happening or what happened, and that's not a good thing. So let's get to the rest of the chat. Pete Jones in the building was second today. Shelby was third. D-Mata was not third. He was fourth. But Keith Sager did get that super chat in on time, so he won that Triple Crown. Sorry about your Congo block. And CC was encouraging. I love when you guys encourage the Triple Crown winners. That's outstanding. Fidel Limon in the building. Who else is here? John Dory, what's up, player? Trucker Taco is here. Alan Denson is here. Donna, my sweet, sweet Donna. Well, look who's back with a weather forecast. Mr. I Got a Job. Steven the Weather Guy here. Current conditions at BiffNet World Headquarters, 71 degrees. Dew point 39 degrees. Mostly cloudy skies. 80% chance last Friday was the best episode of Barry on Deck. Was it? Okay. Well, I'm for it. Justin Swinford, what's up? BCH 420. Oh shit. Yeah. Soccer talk. Here we go. I'm going to try to sound educated. I did a little bit of research on the soccer talk. We'll see how it goes. And no, I don't give a shit if I'm wrong about any of it. Go fuck yourselves. What's up, Francisco D. Mata? He said, that's bullshit, YouTube. No. Whatever. Aaron J. Bryant, Tony Garza, what's up? Aaron Little, Gregory Vega Jr. is in the building. Jesus Perez, G-Man, I see you. Jen, hi, sweet Jen. I still got to get that last read done. I keep forgetting to do it, Jen. I just keep forgetting. Rudolph Rodriguez, sanitize, wash hands, social distance, back the fuck up. Got my first shot today. Good for you, Rudolph. I'm happy for you, buddy. You're well on your way. What's up, Ray? Nora ruined the weekend plans. I'll explain later. Francisco is here. Who else is in the building? Alex Villanueva, Alan Denton, Mark G, Michael Caravantes. CC Discord mods, 2 YouTube mods, none. No, there's more than 2 Discord mods. There's like 4. SVG, Walt, what's up? Jerry Bowe back in the building. Hey, Jerry, I'm excited, buddy, because I finally got all the Coinbase and shit worked out, and now I can actually I bought my Bitcoin. I'm ready to go, homie, is what I'm telling you. I'm ready to go this week. I want my first bet to be in the Super League. Just kidding. I should have had Jerry on to talk soccer because Jerry knows this shit. Jerry, you free? Hop on with me for 10 minutes. Let's talk about soccer. I'll send you a link. Let me know in the chat if you're free, Jerry. I'll bring you on and you can talk soccer with me since you know more about that shit than I do. If you got 10 minutes, hop on. Let's do it. This is how we do shit. We just wing shit around here. There's no rhyme or reason to this. I was thinking, like, who could I get that would talk soccer with me? And I was like, well, I doubt that Glenn Davis would do it. What's up, Stephen Luther? What's up, Mimi? What's up, Terrence? Chuck? Yeah, so I was like, who would talk soccer with me that I want to talk soccer with? Not named Tony. To be more specific. Let's see. So yeah, Jerry, hop on if you're available. I'll send you a link to use. It's super easy to figure out. I'll just text it to you. And yeah, you can hop on. Oh, settle down, Tony. You got made a mod. I don't want to hear shit from you. Okay? I don't want to hear a goddamn thing out of you. Aaron, all academy teams aren't created equal. Oh, here we go with the soccer talk. I don't want to hear it. What up, KD? Okay, let's get started. I got some headlines for you to discuss first before we actually get into the sports. Today's Twins versus A's game has been postponed due to COVID. Not a surprise. Speaking of COVID, the Astros players that were on COVID restrictions or thought to be on COVID restrictions are back and able to work out now, so look for them to be back. Jay Bruce has announced his retirement from baseball. Jay Bruce no longer a ball player. So, yeah, celebrate his storied career. I think he's from the area, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah. Kevin Durant left the game versus the Heat after suffering a thigh contusion. Is it Beaumont? Yeah, that's what I thought. I saw something that said that the big three for Brooklyn has played in a total of 7 games together. I can't imagine that this is how they thought it would go. I can't imagine that this is how they thought they'd get their money's worth. If you're expecting me to cry tears for them, I don't think so. Like, that's on y'all. I don't give a shit. All right. So, Joe Buck will be hosting Jeopardy. Tony says Joe Buck will be a decent host of Jeopardy. You know, I kind of thought that as well. I mean, a lot of people love to hate Joe Buck. I'm not one of those guys. I don't think he's terrible at his job. A lot of folks do not like listening to Joe Buck. I like Joe Buck on baseball, I think, more than anything else. But you know, some people don't like, and that's fine. That's fine. Some people don't like his football. Some people don't like his baseball, whatever. I don't give a shit. It's my personal preferences, right? Just like some people don't like Jessica Mendoza or Doris Burke or Chris Collinsworth. And I don't mind any of those. I'm not saying Chris Collinsworth is as good as the rest of those. It's a little bit of a drop-off. But it's all subjective. It's like comedy, right? Your favorite comedian and my favorite comedian, probably 2 different people. So it's not a big deal. So there's your sports headlines for the day. Oh my God. Gus Johnson on Jeopardy. I'm going to. Okay. Barry, were you the one who gave me the Go Buck Yourself shirt? That was, somebody did that on The Usual Suspects, I think. Oh, no, it said shut the buck up. That's what it was. There was a shut the buck up shirt, but I don't know. It wasn't me, CC, that did that. Yeah, Jessica Mendoza is really good. Surprise, surprise. No, I'll say this, though. She don't like me, though. She doesn't like me because I told her that the Houston Sports Awards Hall of Fame nominations were bullshit. I wrote about it on Sports Map and talked about it on the radio, and it pissed her off. Oh, well. But Gus Johnson on Final Jeopardy would be fucking awesome, especially if he did his Gus Johnson yelling. I'd be here for that. All right, let's get to some stuff that we have to talk about. Do you guys want to do Astros, MMA, or soccer? Doesn't matter. We're going to do Astros first. Let's rap about the Astros a bit because this team is bad. This team is real bad, especially without their star players. Duh. But let's just talk about the fact that the guys that are making the mistakes right now aren't the ones that are missing. I mean, if I have to watch Miles Straw take a bad route to another fly ball out in the outfield, it'll be too soon. Miles Straw is not a big league player. Miles Straw, if he is a big league player, is a pinch runner and a defensive replacement. So we thought, right? Miles Straw was supposed to be the poor man's Jake Marisnick. Miles Straw was supposed to be the equate version of Jake. Miles Straw is terrible out there. I have watched him this year take so many bad routes to fly balls. He gets fooled a lot on the ball off the bat. I just put his ass at shortstop as a backup. But I don't need to see Miles Straw in center field anymore. If you went from George Springer to Miles Straw, and this is where it's awful. And not only that, he's one of the worst hitters in baseball. Look it up. Statistically, I think they showed, or they had something earlier in the season. He is legitimately, I think, contact rate or whatever, one of the worst hitters in baseball. Now, I know that a guy like Jake Marisnick, wasn't great, and then he's, he had flashes and this, that, but there was two things you could count on from Jake. You could count on him to come in and steal a bag for you, which Miles Straw does pretty well, but he was a legitimate and solid, above average, good defensive replacement out in center field. You could put Jake in center, move George to right. Miles Straw doesn't even have that. If you just need to steal a bag, Miles Straw's your guy. Otherwise, you need to look elsewhere. So I don't know what they have in the minors as far as center fielders go. They need to do something, whether it's through trades or free agent acquisitions or bringing somebody up from the minors. But I've seen enough of Miles Straw. I don't need to see any more. Not the guy. Not a big league option at this point, to me. Now, maybe he goes down to the minors and gets a little more seasoning and gets more comfortable. I don't know. I'm not digging it. I don't like it. I don't think he's good. Is Reddick available? Josh Reddick ain't playing center field. Don't they have a center fielder in AA, AAA? Oh, I'm sure they do. They got to have whatever they have has got to be better than whatever they have has got to be better than Miles Straw. I paused for a second because I saw Katie say, wait a minute, who is the moderators if there's no moderators? Well, I thought about this, and I'm going to make some people some moderators. But here's what I'm going to say. We're going to have some balance in the moderators going forward. All right? And what I won't have is this tomfoolery anymore of timing people out for no goddamn reason. It was fun. It was funny, but it's eventually going to lead to somebody getting pissed off. Let's just be real with that. And so if I make you a moderator, unless there is an egregious racist or sexist or homophobic or cursing or whatever, I don't want to be timing people out unless I say so. Like Tony. If I say time Tony out because he won't shut the fuck up about soccer, then feel free to time Tony out. Okay? If I say whoever says Die Hard is a Christmas movie gets automatically timed out, then you're free to time people. But just willy-nilly, and I'm basically talking to House right now, just willy-nilly timing people out is not going to be okay anymore because people are going to start getting angry about it, and I don't need the goddamn drama. is what I'm saying. All right, so I'm going to make some moderators right now. The very first moderator has been chosen. Maybe refresh your chat. We have one moderator. We have two moderators. Who else? We have three moderators. We have, wow, where'd it go? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? There's somebody else I wanted to make a moderator. Not everybody can be a moderator, you guys, so don't get angry. I'm trying to have some balance and some fairness. I'm trying to be Fox News, fair and balanced. Isn't that what Fox News says? Is that their thing, fair and balanced? You guys stop thanking me. Stop thanking me. It's not, this isn't how this is going down at all. Where is it? God damn it. Where is the moderator that I wanted chosen? There it is. There's another one. I have four moderators. I'm trying to pick some balance here. And people that are here every day. People that are here every day for all 2 hours. And that are responsible people that I can count on. Yes, Katie, you do have to time yourself out. Katie says, so now I have to be nice and not mention that Die Hard is a Christmas. Yes, because I'll strip the shit from you if I have to, okay? I will absolutely strip it from you if I have to. Like, I don't ever see Luis Zelaya anymore, and he was a chat moderator. Jeremy Vinegar is here, but I don't see him right now. Justin, you had a nice run, buddy, but I feel like you abused the privileges. Barry has restored balance to the force. See, Francisco, I could trust you. I would make you a moderator, and but you're not here enough. You have to watch her, and that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. So the four moderators that I have chosen right now, and there might be a fifth, and there might be a sixth. I didn't know. Listen, don't start that shit with me. I've got two dudes. I've got two chicks. I've got two African Americans, and I got two white people. There's no Hispanics, but you know what? We're not going. It doesn't. That's not why I picked. All right. I picked. You don't get a vote, White Magic. That's not how this works. Stop turning this into a democracy. This is a. What is it? I don't know what this. Donna said I'm Hispanic. All right, well, fuck y'all then. I got a Hispanic too. So there you go. Yeah, I was being very careful. So your moderators are KD, House, Donna, and Jen. That is a good balance. Harpy, what's up, girl? She said, no Hispanics. Stop silencing my people. I'm wearing a Uncle Tio Choco shirt. I'm not silencing nobody's people. Oh, and the Hispanics at the Red House. All right, so we have our new moderators. There might be more or less. I feel like Walt would be a good moderator. Walt, you know what? Let's make Walt a moderator just because I love Walt. Walt's here. Walt can handle the business, and I trust Walt. Oh, wow. You ain't shit. You ain't shit. You did KD dirty like that. But now you too, Walt. Cece said, I understand my role. I'm a number for the algorithm. No, Cece, but you have to bounce at 2:30. I can't be having that. All right, let's get back to the show. No, Walt's a mod now. You can't ban him. And then remember, I get to choose. Katie, don't make me take this from you already. Okay, so we talked a little Astros. They're pretty terrible. I don't know if you saw this, but that ball that Miles Straw dropped in the outfield, Jake Odorizzi had to go talk to him afterwards and be like, hey, listen, it's all good. The sun's out, blah, blah, blah. Now, unless he told him, hey, look, man, AAA may be good for you. Maybe you'll get some, get some seasoning down there. But he's having to have veterans talk to him about it. I just think it's bad. That's all I'm going to say. I just think it's bad. Is that true? Where? I don't see it. I don't see it. Is that just you making it up? I just saw Screw House. I feel like you just made that up. Did he? If he did, and I'm going to need you to go back and screenshot it for proof. But if he did, then yeah, feel free to time out Truck Driver Pookie if he said it. But I need your receipts, House. You can't just time him out. Won't time me out because Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Oh, did he? Is that really what he said at 2:19? Is that Truck Driver Pookie? Are you really testing the bounds, the limits? Let me look. Oh yeah, KD won't time me out because Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Oh, allow me. Let me handle this. Put user in timeout. We'll see you in 5, Truck Driver Pookie. Okay. Now House is a snitch, but I'm here for it. That's what I need. All right. No, there's no anarchy. Okay. Focus, people. We have sports to discuss. We have a lot of sports to discuss. Let's talk about this Jake Paul fight. I just want to get this off my chest, and then we're going to talk super leagues in soccer. All right. But let's talk about this Jake Paul Ben Askren fight, because I have thoughts on this. First of all, it was a fucking joke. This whole thing going on with Jake Paul is a joke. And I'm going to tell you why. And people were trying to talk me off the ledge on Twitter like Joe Pro, but I'm not even upset about it. I just want people to know what they're watching, because a lot of people don't really follow boxing or combat sports all that well. I happen to cover it for several years locally and nationally. I happen to be really in tune with it. Yes, I burned out about it. Yes, I burned out on it for a while and stopped watching and going and all that, but it doesn't mean I didn't know what I was talking about in the time that I covered it and learned the sport. What I'm going to tell you is this: Jake Paul is a terrible boxer. If you watch his footwork, if you watch his hands, just look at his hand placement during the fight. Look how low his hands are during that fight. Watch how he loops all of his punches. He doesn't throw that many straight. If just from a pure boxing perspective, Jake Paul is a terrible boxer. So what does that mean about Ben Askren? It means he's a wrestler. This is the equivalent of somebody like Floyd Mayweather going and fighting a Taekwondo fight. This is what Ben Askren was. Ben Askren was known to be one of the worst strikers in MMA. That wasn't his thing. His thing was he was a wrestler. He would move in, slip a few punches, take you down, and wrestle fuck you until the fight was over. And he wasn't even great. Not once he got to the UFC. He was great fighting guys that weren't at the top of their game. Ben Askren is not the watermark for what Jake Paul can do against a legitimate combat sports veteran. He's just not. He was a one-dimensional fighter at best. I did see that. Somebody said he beat up a dude built like his stepdad. Look, that's the thing too. Ben Askren didn't take this fight seriously, and I'm seeing a lot of people say, "Oh, this fight was rigged. Oh, this fight was." Look, was this fight rigged? I don't know. Did it look a little sus to me? Yeah. Have I seen Ben Askren get punched in the face harder than that? Sure. But I want to point something out about this before everybody starts saying it was 1,000% rigged. It didn't look good, especially afterwards when he's laughing and cutting up, and then he's interviewed, and I'm speaking to Ben Askren, and they say, "Is this it for you? Are you going to retire?" And he says, "I don't know. I mean, I got they said, what's next?" He goes, "I got $1 million in my pocket. I'm going to go coach wrestling." Not a good look when you reference the money you made on the fight as the reason you don't give a fuck about the results. He said, "I argued with the ref, but it's his job." He said, "You're not fine." I said, "I'm fine." He said, "No, you're not." I said, "Yes, I am." He stopped the fight. That's how it went. Whatever. Now, I'll say this about those that are saying this fight was rigged. I'm not 100% sold on that idea, although it does look bad. And here's why I'm not sold on it. In order to rig this fight, you have to get a lot of people to agree to it and then nobody to leak it for personal gain. You have to have at least 5 people in this that agree that they're going to rig this fight. It can't just be Ben Askren and Jake Paul go have a coffee together on a park bench in the middle of Central Park so no one can hear them. And Jake says, "I'll give you a side meal if you take a dive." And Ben goes, I don't give a fuck. I'm fat now and coach wrestling. Give me an extra meal. I'll dive for you. There has to be more people involved. The referee has to be in on it. There's got to be at least 2 trainers that have to be in on it. This isn't something that you just coordinate between 2 people when it's done. There has to be several people involved in this. Now, did I think that it was a legitimate punch? I'll say this. Because I saw some people that were saying, look how his feet were together and he fell the wrong, man. Look, there's no right way to fall when you get knocked the fuck out. Your body does what it does. The reason he got knocked out was because his feet were together, because his hands were low, and because it was a somewhat lucky shot by Jake Paul. All right. So these are all just facts so far. Everybody has a button. I don't give a fuck who you are. I've said this a million times when I talk about combat sports. I know you guys have heard this. What's up, William Robinson? Yeah. I hope he gets Nate Diaz because he will get his ass destroyed. I mean, destroyed by Nate Diaz. But here's the thing. Everybody has a button. You just because you're not a UFC caliber fighter doesn't mean you can't knock somebody out. So is Jake Paul, could that knockout have been legitimate? Yes. I believe he could have legitimately knocked out Ben Askren. Have I seen Ben Askren take worse ass whoopings? Yeah. You all saw the videos that were floating around of him fighting in the UFC, just getting pummeled over and over and not being knocked out. But here's the thing. It depends where you were hit, how you were hit, and some other circumstances surrounding that. Okay. Could it have been legitimate? Absolutely. It could have been a legitimate knockout. I'm not saying Jake Paul's not a strong dude. I'm just saying his boxing technique is garbage. So I'm not going to 100% declare that this was rigged, that this was a setup. Does it look like it? Yeah. Was it probably? Yeah. But I don't think we'll ever definitively know until someone like Ben Askren or someone in his camp or the referee or somebody or that stupid ass robot owns it. Here's the problem with all of this, though. The problem is that this Jake Paul machine is just gaining all of this momentum and all of this traction. And now you've got MMA fighters legitimately coming out and saying I'm not talking about, washed up Ben Askrens of the world that were one-dimensional. I'm talking about MMA fighters that know how to box, that know how to wrestle, that know how to fight, that are saying they'll fight this dude. All that does is add fuel to the flames of Jake Paul. This is literally just taking his status higher and higher and higher. Also, he said he sold 75 million buys. And then I saw 65. I don't know what to believe. Then he took a picture of himself. Look at this. Then he took a picture of himself showing us all the money that he made. The problem was it was all ones. How do you sell 65 million pay-per-view buys and then you take a picture of yourself in all surrounded by single dollar bills? You can afford that fancy ass robot? And see, that's part of the problem, Shelby. He lives for attention. Absolutely, 1,000%. And the more that MMA fighters and legitimate boxers give him that attention, the more he's going to do this sideshow bullshit that he's doing. He's never going to fight anyone legitimate. Let's all be clear on that. He's never going to fight any legitimate fighter because he would get his ass whooped. Now, maybe he trains for 5, 6, 7 years and gets better. And, here's the biggest frustration for me when it comes to a guy like Jake Paul. Jake Paul could be like any other boxer. He may be good one day. He may be a decent boxer. But because of his status and his celebrity, he's not having to climb the ranks like a guy normally does in boxing. I shouldn't say guy, girls too. Female boxers do the same thing. What happens is you start off local, you fight a couple of chumps that are also local, you get a few wins, you step up and fight a guy that's also beat a couple chumps, you beat that guy, and you slowly build up in the fight game. And you don't make a lot of money, and that's why you do what you do, so that you can eventually make money. It's like anything. You work your way up the ladder. You earn the right to sell 65 million pay-per-view buys. And along the way, as you're earning, you're learning. how to be a boxer. You're learning how to fight the best boxers in the world. None of that is happening with Jake Paul. The only thing that's happening is he's got the celebrity status because he's got 20 million YouTube subscribers. So he's getting these fights. He's making this money. He's getting the publicity. He's pissing people off. He's playing the role of the bad guy, and it's all working. It is all. I'm spending 15 minutes talking about this fucking yokel, this joke. It's working. And that's the most frustrating thing. So I got a choice. I can either come on here and pretend like that travesty of a boxing card or that boxing match didn't occur, or we can just call it out for what it is. A sham show and some bullshit and nothing but a publicity stunt. And the dude's getting heftily paid for it. Now, he is getting paid, but if you were making millions of dollars, would this be the picture you took? Look, bro, that's all ones. I mean, look, I'm not wealthy. I don't have 20 million YouTube followers, but I'm pretty sure I could scrounge up that many ones to take a picture with in my front yard. He's got a couple hundreds in there. But like legitimately, you're supposed to be that. I mean, you made all that money. Come on, fam. You look like a fucking idiot right there. You look like an idiot right there. Katie said, you can't knock him for doing something that works. That's an interesting philosophy. And I would agree to a certain extent. Like, go make your money, do your thing. But don't get mad when everybody fucking hates you. And when this all falls apart, and it will all fall apart. When this all comes crumbling down, don't start playing that sad guy, poor pity me bullshit, because fuck you, Jake Paul. You are going to earn, as fun as the climb will be, the descent will be just as fun for the rest of us because of the way you've handled this and done it. It's the same thing with Conor McGregor. It's the same thing with Ronda Rousey. When their falls existed because of the way that they acted, no one gave a fuck. Well, most people didn't give a fuck. I mean, to watch Conor McGregor get knocked the fuck out by Dustin Poirier, I was like, I mean, that's what you get for punching an old man in a bar and throwing a fucking dolly through a bus window. You deserve to get your ass whooped. The fall from grace is beautiful when the climb is disgusting. So I can't wait. And I'm not being a hater. I mean, I guess I am. Fuck it, I'll own it. I'm a hater. I can't wait for Jake Paul to fail. I can't wait to see this dude get knocked the fuck out. And oh my God, I'll probably make it my background and my fucking social media profiles when he gets knocked the fuck out, because he will have earned that humility. He will have earned that humiliation, and he will have earned my joy in seeing him fail. And the reason is because of the way he's handling this. Period. Mark G said, when are you going to talk about the sexual assault charges against Jake Paul? Thank you for the super chat, Mark. We already have. When it happened, I addressed it. We talked about it on the show. And I did see where, yeah, absolutely. I did see where, what's the dude from Saturday Night Live? Big, tall, weirdo comedian. I forget his name. But he asked Jake Paul about that pre-fight, and yeah, don't let it happen again. Just kidding. He asked Jake Paul about the sexual assault pre-fight, and Jake Paul's lawyer was standing there, was like, oh, Pete Davidson, that's who it was. Thank you, House. Pete Davidson asked Jake Paul about the sexual assault prior to the fight in the locker room on a recorded interview, and Jake Paul was getting ready to answer it and kind of play coy about it, and then his lawyer was like, oh, no need to respond to that. We're not talking about that. So he's literally doing interviews with his lawyer there. So that's a little sus. If nothing has occurred, that's a little sus in and of itself. Second thing is my last comment about Jake Paul, and then we're going to move on to this soccer super league. Oh, D-Mata had a question. Barry, would you pay to see him get knocked the fuck out? Not if he was going to make money on it. I'll just bootleg that shit off the internet later. I wouldn't pay to put a single dime in that dude's fucking pocket. but I'll watch the replay on Twitter or Instagram or YouTube. Oh, I'll take pictures of it. I'll screenshot that hoe. Absolutely. When he does get knocked the fuck out, you bet we're spending some time on Barry on Deck discussing, but I'm not paying it. I also had to buy the Top Shot though. Oh man, that pay-per-view host, by the way, I didn't watch all of it. I just consumed stuff after. I'm not paying that for that raggedy ass card. All that bullshit. I don't give a fuck about Jake Paul and all that. I'm not. Bro, they could have made that shit $1 and I would have bootlegged that shit. I'm not paying for that. But they had Oscar De La Hoya on there. Holy fuck. I don't know if he was drunk or coked up or both. But that dude was fucking weird. They were like, Oscar, who are you going to fight? I don't know. But whoever I pick, I'm going to prove I'm the baddest motherfucker on the planet. Like, whoa, homie, what the fuck was that? So, Oscar De La Hoya was a goddamn wreck on there. Snoop Dogg was Snoop Dogg. I mean, what did you expect? And I didn't know that Pete Davidson was even on the list. I just know it was a goddamn train wreck. An absolute train wreck. DFL Smith said, that's why the lawyer was there. He was taking all that money he won. That's why he took the picture with almost nothing but ones. Well, that's probably fucking true. Get Andrew Clay to do an MS Paint version of the knockout. Oh my God, Cisco, that is brilliant. That is absolutely brilliant. When it happens, we have to do that. White Magic said, I can't stand Jake, but listening to people talk about him really reminds me of people talking about Floyd. I can't wait to see him get knocked out. Never happened. Of all the shit you have said on this show and on Twitter and everywhere else, White Magic, comparing Floyd Mayweather to Jake Paul, you have got to be out of your fucking mind. What the fuck, man? It is not even close to the same thing. Not even fucking close. One is a legitimate boxer. The other one is a fucking joke. The other one is a fucking glory hound. Like, oh my God. Please, just White Magic, I love you, buddy. Please never, ever, 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 ever mention Paul and Mayweather in the same fucking sentence ever again. Ever again. I'd rather hear you fucking post over and over about how Die Hard is a fucking Christmas movie before you ever mention those two in the same breath. Holy shit. That was a terrible take. Okay, speaking of terrible takes, let's talk soccer for a second. Actually, let me do this before we talk soccer. Let me tell you guys about Hemp Vita. If you don't know about Hemp Vita, man, what are you doing? If you need some CBD in your life, I'm telling you, you need to go check out Hemp Vita. All natural ingredients, all of the cannabinoids organically grown in the United States, so you don't have to worry about that. They're safe. There's no THC. You don't have to worry about getting popped. And they're gummies now. They have two versions. First of all, they have upgraded the gummies from 5 milligrams of CBD to 25 milligrams of CBD. Now they have a nighttime formula. Before we were taking the gummies and they were putting us to sleep. But now, they have actually enhanced the nighttime formula for the gummies, which makes them even better. Oh my goodness, you got to try these. They've got melatonin in them. They've got CBD. They got CBN. And they're also vegan, by the way. Still same great taste. They have a Sour Patch kind of flavor, I guess. Same taste though. I'm told my order hasn't arrived yet, but I'm told it's the same great taste. I'm looking forward to these night gummies. If the regular gummies put me to sleep, I cannot wait to try these new gummies. And don't forget, they got other things as well. They've got the gel, which I swear by, Nora and so many of the other deckheads swear by the CBD gel from Hemp Vita. Check it out right now. Go online, hempvita.cbd.com, hempvita.cbd.com. Use that promo code DECKHEAD15. It's going to save you 15%, and they're going to know you got it right here on Barry on Deck. All right, let's talk about this soccer super league thing, I guess. Oh my goodness, people are so upset. People are so upset about this. Now, I tried to do my research. You guys know I'm not a big soccer guy. But I didn't even know this was a thing until AR Platinum was like, well, you're going to have a busy day with Jake Paul and, you know, the Soccer Super League. And I was like, fuck, Soccer Super League? What the fuck is that? So then I started researching it. I'm trying to be a good host. I'm trying to... Okay. Lambong. Soccer talk. Sean says I'm here for the Super League. This is what I learned about this. And if you don't know what this means, 12 of the world's biggest soccer clubs are getting together and decided to form a Super League. It'll be very exclusive. Only the 12 best soccer clubs in the world will be allowed in this Super League. Okay? Now, basically what this is it's like an NFL or an MLB or an NBA or the UFC. This isn't the MLS, by the way. This isn't even the NHL. I think there's probably better hockey players in Europe. What this is the equivalent of starting the NFL or the NBA. It is the best 12 soccer clubs on the planet. Now, they are talking about doing this league. And so here's the way, my understanding of the way soccer, there's thousands of soccer clubs all over Europe and wherever else. And these soccer clubs, was it Champions League? They all have the opportunity to qualify for Champions League. Usually it's the best of the best, right? You get all this La Liga and all this other bullshit. And the winners of those, they'll get to this Champions League and they'll all play for the opportunity to be recognized as the best club in the world because they win that. Well, basically, this would exclude all that. Basically, when you create this Super League, you're not allowing these other teams to even have the opportunity to play here. Now, FIFA and UEFA, they're all saying, if you start this Super League, we're not going to sanction it, and those players will not be allowed to play in the World Cup or anything else, Champions League, none of that other stuff, because you're going to form this Super League that is so exclusionary. What I found was interesting is that there's a difference in thought process behind this when it comes to American sports soccer fans and European soccer fans. A lot of us in America probably look at this and go, what's the big deal? I mean, when I first saw it, I was like, who gives a fuck? We already do that over here. I mean, for God's sakes, we call the NBA the world champions. We call Major League Baseball the world champion. We are so arrogant that we think if it's our leagues, they've got to be the best in the world. We don't do that about MLS, by the way. So the fact is, if they started a Super League, then those are probably the best clubs in the world anyways. What's the big deal? Well, that's how a lot of us in America look at it. But over in Europe, and in this article I read, what was this article? It's a really good article. Barstool. Believe it or not, Barstool had it. And they talked about the fact that it has a lot to do with a capitalistic society like America versus a socialistic society in general over in Europe. Not that either one of those is 100% fact, but they're more inclusionary in Europe in soccer. So they want to make sure that everybody has that opportunity. Plus, the fans look at it differently. And in the article, they talked about the fact that they tried to do a soccer game on Monday and people lost their shit because it's the working man's sport and you can't do that because people that work on Mondays can't go to the game. So they tried to raise prices for the most expensive tickets past $75 and people lost their shit. It is like the will of the people exists in those sports. Whereas here, sorry, you have to pay for the right to buy a ticket. That's how fucking sports is in America. That's a difference between these two entities. So my understanding about this is that soccer people are up in arms because it's excluding the 13th best soccer club in the world. See, and Sean, this is it. Sean says, I need this to happen. No one wants to watch the Texans or Jags equivalent. Yeah, if one of these teams, I remember there was one team that a few years ago ended up winning, I guess, Champions League or something like that. Was it Juventus or something like that? I don't know how to fucking pronounce it. And they weren't supposed to. I think that was it. I don't fucking remember. I'm not the soccer dork. But people lost their shit about how great that was. But here's the thing. Do you understand how often that happens in sports? It's very rare. No one, this is why in college football, we talk about the top 4. Oh, that's who it was. Yeah. You're right. It was that name I couldn't pronounce. Yeah, they're one of the 12. So no one wants to see shitty clubs, even though we love the Cinderella stories. At the end of the day, you want the 2 best soccer teams. You want to see the best players in the world playing each other. And that's why a lot of us on this side probably don't care as much as they do in Europe, where they want it to be more, because you have thousands and thousands of fans that would now think, well, there's no reason, there's no hope, right? If those teams form their own Super League and are excluded from the Champions League and the World Cup, it just doesn't have the same feel to it, because you think about it like this. They always say on opening day, every team has a shot at the World Series, right? On week 1 of the NFL, everybody's a Super Bowl contender. Yeah, even the Lions and the Jags and so forth. But there's not even that opportunity right now if this Super League forms and they're excluded from World Cup and Champions League. You don't have the opportunity to say, man, our little podunk soccer club has the opportunity to play and beat some of the best clubs in the world, and it could happen. So that's why they're upset about it. It's less to root for. It would be like saying, when the college football season starts, U of H is just not going to make a playoff game. Oh, wait. So it's interesting. I mean, people are losing their shit over this. And this is part of the problem. But I think it's funny that they're like, if you do this, you can't be a part of our program anymore. Well, I don't think they give a shit. That would be like saying, if the SEC just does their own world championship in football, college football, the SEC says, you know what? Fuck y'all. We're that good. We're just going to crown a champion. Well, then, it was just a point. It wasn't Cougs hate. It was a point of, if you're not in a Power 5, you have very little chance of actually making the college football playoffs. That's all that was. If you aren't in the Big 10, Big 10, Big 12, Pac-12, ACC, or the SEC, you have very little hope of making college football playoffs. That's all that was. That wasn't a Cougs hate. Okay? Could have been anybody. It could have been the Sam Houston Lumberjacks. It could have been the fucking Tulane. It wasn't Cougs hate. But that's the difference between like football and the NCAA basketball tournament, right? Going into the basketball season, you're like, everybody's got a fucking chance. And that's the equivalent of what the World Cup is, or what, you have the opportunity to actually make it and make a run and do some damage. But are they not the Lumberjacks? Oh, they're the Bearcats. The Lumberjacks are Stephen F. Austin. Oh, wait. No one gives a fuck that I said it wrong, White Magic, except you. Oh, God. Can you focus on what's important here? If you had to speak as many words as I do in 2 hours every day, you're going to say something wrong. Why do people always feel the need to point it out when I misspeak? Yeah, I misspoke. Walt, shut your damn mouth. Oh my God. You guys make it damn near impossible sometimes to just talk. Okay. Let me just back on topic. Since you guys apparently never misspeak or say anything wrong, let me get back on topic. The whole thing about the soccer is, I think you have a lot of fans in all parts of the world that that feel excluded when this happens. And that's the big reason why everybody's upset. All these 12 clubs don't give a fuck. Everybody else, pretty upset. If you're not a soccer fan, you don't give a shit about this Super League. You don't give a fuck. And you're probably, if you're an American, you probably look at it and go, who gives a fuck? I want to watch the best clubs play. I don't give a shit about the 39th best club having a chance to one day play the best club in the world. Wow. What's up, Josh? Hey, welcome to Barry on Trial. Bro. It'd be like that sometimes. I learned in radio. That's just how it is. PZH 420 said, no, you have to finish the top 4 of your league. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the Tulane slander. Yeah, see, that's the thing is I don't know all the soccer details. I don't know all the fucking details about the leagues. And I've always said, look, I'm going to tell you, I've tried to be honest with you guys about why most people don't watch or enjoy soccer. And y'all got so angry with me about it. And it was just me being honest. I was just being honest. And I'm going to be honest with you also about soccer. I don't understand all the goddamn leagues and shit. You know, it's like I was telling you about the U.S. men's national team. The fact that they're not in the Olympics, for a guy like me, that's a big deal because that's the only time, maybe save World Cup every now and then, that I'll watch soccer. And then you guys are like, man, that's 23 and under and all this bullshit no one gives a fuck about if we don't follow the sport. So what I'm going to tell you about this is there's too many goddamn leagues to keep up with. La Liga, fucking, I don't know. Where's all the goddamn leagues at? Hold on. So where was, I want to read you a list of all the goddamn soccer leagues. Let me just Google this. Soccer leagues. There's too many of them. Premier League, EFL Championships, UEFA Championships, USL Championships. I don't know what that is. The World Cup, English Football League, CONCACAF. What else? Liga MX, France League, National League, FA Cup, Series A, FIFA. I mean, god damn. I don't know what that's like. NFL, USFL, XFL, CFL. The fuck, man? I just, where's the best soccer? That's what I would want to watch. I know it ain't MSL. MLS. MSL. Fucking NFL. I know it ain't MLS. I just want to watch the best soccer. And all this other shit means nothing to me as a less than casual soccer fan. I don't know, and it's hard to keep up with. And if I knew that this is the best 12 soccer teams in the world in this league, I might be more prone to watch it. So I will, it's the only counterpoint. I don't know why my nose is itching. Y'all stop talking shit about me. The only thing I'll say to you soccer aficionados that are upset about this is this. If you really love the sport, this might be a way to bring more cash fans like myself to the sport. Because I don't want to watch the fucking 55th best soccer club in the world. I don't give a fuck. But if I know these are the 12 best and they're going to play 12 matches, 15 matches, 24 matches to determine a world champion, I might watch that. I mean, I probably won't. But I'm just saying there's a better opportunity for that because that means more to me. So just something to consider. Because all this other shit, the fucking Congo calf or whatever the fuck that was that somebody put in the chat. I don't fucking know. I am not bringing Tony on to talk soccer. I would never allow Tony Garza on this show. Katie said, is Barry having a Pinocchio nose, talking trash about soccer and your nose itches? I mean, I'm not talking trash. I'm just telling you my opinion on it. I'm not trash talking soccer. I'm not talking shit. I didn't say soccer is stupid and sucks as a sport. I'm saying I don't watch it. I don't like it. I'm saying White Magic just earned a 5-minute timeout for a soccer update in the chat. Go ahead, have fun, have at it, KD. You can do your first time out. What I'm saying is, I'm just not a fan. It'd be like, you're trashing darts. I don't know. Don't fucking watch it. I mean, darts is stupid, but I don't watch it. And I don't understand it because it's so goddamn confusing. So don't shoot the messenger. Okay, we got to get to a break. I got to go pee. I drank almost a half a bottle of water today. I don't want to brag. I'm pretty hydrated right now. Yeah, we did. We mixed it up, Jeremy. You weren't here. That's the problem. You got to be here. You could have got your mod duties, but okay. All right, we're going to take a 5-minute break. I got to say, I'm probably going to get in trouble for this, and it's not meant as a way of taking his content, but I'm wearing my El Tío Choco shirt. I love this dude. He's fucking hilarious. Big fan of his. And I was racking my brain for videos for the break today while I go pee, the 5-minute break. What's up, Quinn? How are you, man? Thanks for being here. I don't know what that means. Amy, good gorilla. So Quinn, we're about to take a 5-minute break. Don't go anywhere. We're going to be back and we're going to talk more sports and non-sports on the other side. No, we are done with soccer talk. Done. So we're going to take a 5-minute break. The break video is going to be El Tío Choco and some of his videos. Enjoy them. They're hilarious. I'll see you on the other side. I'm going to go pee. You go poop, pee, smoke a cigarette, whatever it is you do during the break. And I'll see you in 5. This is Barry on Deck. I'm your host, Barry Laminack. Don't go anywhere.
Complaciendo para todos los bailadores con esta rola que dice 1, 2, 3, 4. ¿Esto ya se acabó? ¡No! ¡Esto sigue! 1, 2, 3, 4.
Mesa, mesa, mesa que más aplauda, mesa que más aplauda, mesa que más aplauda, le mando la niña. Mesa que más aplauda, sí, mesa que más aplauda, no, mesa que más aplauda, le mando la niña. Sa, yakuza, yakuza, sa, yakuza, yakuza, sa, yakuza, yakuza, sa, yakuza, yakuza.
Tú me aplaudes, que tú me aplaudes, tú me aplaudes, que tú me aplaudes,
yakuza, 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 yakuza.
Tú me aplaudes, que tú me aplaudes, tú me aplaudes, que tú me aplaudes,
Mesa que más aplauda, sí, mesa que más aplauda, no, mesa que más aplauda, le mando la niña. Mesa que más aplauda, sí. Mesa que más aplauda, no. Mesa que más aplauda, le mando a la niña. Yakuza, yakuza. Yakuza, yakuza. Yakuza, yakuza.
Y los doctores, y los ingenieros, y los licenciados, y los arquitectos, los contadores, y los maestros,
Yakuza.
y los albañiles, el obrero, el herrero, el carpintero, y los choferes, y todo el mundo,
Yakuza.
y los malandros, y los huevones, los hijos de papi, y los juniors, y los fresas, los que le roban el dinero a mamá y se lo gastan en clima.
Yakuza. Yakuza, yakuza.
Tú me aplaudes.
I got your bitch.
Nope. Psych. Welcome back to hour number 2 of Barry on Deck. I'm your host, Barry Laminack. Thank you guys for sticking around through the break. Those of you that did, those of you that didn't can go fuck yourself. I don't know why you'd leave. It's just a break. Daddy's got a boo-boo. Daddy's got a pee-pee. What's wrong with that? I can't take 5 minutes from myself out of the day. Appreciate y'all hanging out. I always forget to take off the, what's it called? The sitting on the corner doing dope. I know that's my bad, TDP. Lord, I apologize. What did White Magic say? White Magic said, next thing you know, Katie is going to start doing awkward cooking videos for the break. You ain't shit, White Magic. That's funny, though. A lot of people say that dude looked like KD. I don't know. I don't see. Well, I mean, I could go to the Discord and get some pictures. Tony said I could have watched 5 more minutes of that. Oh, it's the best. I'm telling you right now, please go subscribe and support El Tio Choco on YouTube, on Instagram. The dude is a national treasure, and he's from right here in Houston. The first video I ever saw of Tio Choco was that first video that I played at the break, where he's like, when you can't afford the band for your quinceañera, so you get your uncle to do it. And that was what it was. And that was the best. That second part was titled When Your Uncle Gets a New Belt Buckle. That's what it was. It's so good. It is so, so good. So, anyways, we're back. Hey, we're back. I was trying to think if I had any more sports to discuss. I really don't. I wanted to talk about this story, this tragic story, actually. That occurred right here in Spring, Texas, man. So this is what's left of a Tesla that hit a tree. It took firefighters 4 hours to put this fire out that occurred when this Tesla hit this tree and ignited. 4 hours to extinguish the flames on this car. Unfortunately, both passengers in the car died. The story is, or the reports are, nobody was driving the car. They had the car on autopilot. One person was found in the passenger seat. The other person was found in the back seat. Exactly. They were relying on autopilot. They were relying on the auto drive option on the Tesla, I guess, to get them home, or I don't know if they had too much to drink. I don't know what it is. Here's the thing. Yes, Tesla has this option, but they very clearly state that you have to have a driver in the driver's seat because it's not 100% safe. It's not 100% accurate. You still need a driver in the driver's seat. What this is good for is if you momentarily, if you're tired, you maybe turn it on. If you fall asleep for whatever reason. I mean, it's not carte blanche to, oh, just get in the back seat, fucking hit go. That's not what it's for. In fact, my little old raggedy ass Honda Accord that I have has some of that stuff. It has lane keep assist. It has steering. It has auto braking. And what it's really good for is if I'm driving home from a gig at 3 a.m., I can turn all that stuff on. And if I happen to doze, which I have before, I have dozed off driving home from a comedy gig in another city and woken up to find myself veering off onto the shoulder, or to find myself, in fact, one of them, there was a curve and I woke up and just in time to veer the car to the left. Boy, that pimple is huge, by the way. So that's what it's for. It's to save you, prevent you from an accident if you're distracted, if you're, tired, maybe you had a little too much to drink. I'm not suggesting you drink and drive, by the way. Please don't. But it's certainly not so that you can fucking ride in the back seat. That's just dumb. Just dumb. Unfortunately, both of them passed away. They're both dead, and nobody was driving the car. And of course, this is going to be one of those things where people go, see, it doesn't work. Well, no, of course not. Of course not. Exactly. Uber, especially if you drank too much. Uber, please. I don't know why people would trust this yet. Because what I've learned is that, like in my car, the way that the auto drive, like the lane keep assist works, is that, brakes didn't fail. The car went straight when it was supposed to turn. It's crazy. But the way that this works is like your car, my car at least, it looks for there's something in the stripes on the road. There's some sort of material that it can detect, right? So it finds those and it kind of keeps itself in between those two lines on the road. Well, what happens if you're on a road that doesn't have that? Or what happens if there's a break in it? I'll tell you this, when I've turned on the auto steering that keeps you, that lane keep assist, on an exit ramp, when the line goes off with the exit ramp, my car will actually follow that exit ramp line for a second. I have to pull it back. So it's not foolproof yet. We're a long ways away from having all auto drive cars where we don't have to drive anymore. Full time. I mean, you probably still need to, we'll have the point where they'll have self-driving cars, kind of like these robots. But get ready, because that's going to be like Domino's, those auto delivery pizza. But they make sure that it's neighborhood specific, that it's within a certain range to limit the potential for issues. It's just a sad case, a weird thing, man. Just sad and weird. I don't know. You hate to see it, but damn. Please don't rely on that shit. What was the other thing? There was something else I wanted to talk about today, but I didn't get to. Oh, so I didn't share this with you. I meant to share this with you the other day. Did I show y'all my new merch ideas? I just trust that people stay on the right side. Yeah. Totally agree. Yeah, we do have a lot more infrastructure we need to do before it's 100%. Oh, you got to be kidding me. Is that true, D-Mata? Are they really going to sue Tesla? What a stupid fucking thing. I'm sorry. There are two dead people, and I feel terrible for them. But if their family is planning on suing Tesla, shame on that family. Shame on you. What the fuck are you doing? Your family members made poor decisions. They chose to not fucking sit in the driver's seat of a car. Man, that's despicable. That's despicable. That's pretty low. I don't know. Did I show you guys this? This is going to be one of my shirts. I'm going to make this a shirt. I do this joke. If you see me perform, then you know that I do a joke like this where I talk about fluffing my dick. So that's going to be one of my shirts. New merch ideas, just for comedy, not for Barry on Deck. But that, if you've seen this joke, Katie's seen it. She knows. That's one. And then I open my set by talking about mask. And I say that if these masks suck, but if you have bad teeth, this is your season. So that's going to be my other shirt. So I was trying to come up with new merch ideas. And I think these are going to be the ones. I don't know yet. No, the fluffed it one, I fluffed it. That's definitely not going to be white. The bad teeth season one might be because the mask is white. It'll sure make it easier. But I know a lot of people don't like white t-shirts. So I'm going to have to figure out how to do that on a non-white shirt. But yeah, because most people don't like white t-shirts. So, but those are the two designs that I came up with. So I'm excited about those. I've needed new merch for a long time. I really want to do my album because that's what I want to sell. I don't want to sell shirts anymore. Celio said, speaking of shows, what's your schedule look like? I still haven't updated my goddamn. I booked some new shows this week, as a matter of fact. Hold on, I'll tell you exactly what my schedule looks like, Celio. What's today? April 19th. So my next gig is April 30th in Navasota with Andy Huggins. I don't have another gig locally until then. In May, I'm at Moe's Place in Katy on May 6th. I'm in Lomita, Texas on May 8th. I am in Corpus Christi May 14th and 15th. And I am in Wichita, Kansas the 20th through the 22nd. So May is busy, thankfully. Yes, I am at Moe's in Katy. Yeah, and all of this I'm trying just to prepare to get ready to record my album. So let's talk about that for a second. Here's my idea. I think I may have mentioned this before, but I swear I want to record my first comedy album ever this year. That's the goal. Let's just get it done. I want to be able to sell it. I want to have one. I want to get rid of these goddamn jokes. So when Walt comes to a show or Katie comes to another show or CC comes to a show, they see some new jokes, not these same jokes that I've been doing. But getting the album done will force me to do that. Now, I mean, I guess I could do it anyways, but I'm stubborn. So I'm looking for a place in town where I think I could get 400 people to come to this. And my goal is I want to do 2 shows on one night, 200 for the first show, 200 for the second show, record both. I should get enough material from all that to be able to chop up an album, 45 minutes to an hour. Oh, I would never do an album in the studio. No, I've got to have a live audience. So that's part of the question is I want to be able to, record this in front of my friends and family. Ultimately, I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. The best comedy club in the state of Texas by far is Hyenas Fort Worth. As far as crowds and I've never had a bad set in that club. An album would sound amazing recorded at the Hyenas Fort Worth. But I really want to do this in front of friends and family. And I want everybody to be there. And my thought was this. I'm going to find a venue. I got to find a good venue that holds about 200 people. It's got to be good for recording, and I don't want to do it at a bar. I just don't want to do it at a bar. So whether it's a theater or a room or whatever, but it needs to hold about 200 people. I'm going to do 2 shows. And my thought is this, and it depends on the deal that obviously that I get worked out. If I can get the door, if they don't make me, if I get a certain amount of comps, my goal is everybody that's a member of Patreon is going to get a free ticket to the album recording. 1. So you got to bring your +1. You got to buy the ticket to get in. But everybody on Patreon is going to get in free to one of the 2 shows for my album recording. So wherever that show happens to be, however that works out, there's 119 of you. I'll be giving away 119 tickets to the album recording party because I want you all there. I'd love to have you come, and I want to be able to give back to those that have been supporting me on this show and on Patreon and everything else. So, you'll get 1 free ticket, 1 point of entry. I may just end up doing this at the Houston Improv. I don't know if they'll let me. But that's the thing. You'll get a ticket, but your +1, your date, your whatever, you'd have to buy their ticket. But my goal is to give each of you a ticket to come to that recording party. So that's what I'm looking at doing. So Amos said, how does selling a comedy album go these days? Do you just put it on the DSPs? What? On the DSPs. What does that mean? What is DSPs? I don't know what that means, Amos. Tell me what a DSP is, and I'll explain it to you. So basically, my thoughts on recording the album. I had a record deal with 800 Pound Gorilla like 2.5 years ago, and then it just didn't materialize. We just never got around to doing it. Oh yeah, digital sales platforms. Maybe that is what it means. Oh, digital service. Okay, I'll explain in just a second. So I had this will kind of explain it. I had a record deal with 800 Pound Gorilla. Or I shouldn't say a deal. We had an agreement. They didn't even send me the contract. They said, yeah, we want to do your album. We want you on the record label. And then a bunch of shit happened, and they were like, well, we just can't do it right now. We're not going to be able to do it this year. And I was adamant about getting this album done that year. So they were like, you know what? We'll just wait. And then COVID happened, and then that was the end of all of it. But in that deal, what it was basically going to be is the reason I was excited about working with 800 Pound Gorilla is they have distribution, and not in the traditional sense of a record being distributed to different record stores for purchase. They have digital distribution on streaming platforms and also Sirius XM, which is a big one. And I was really hoping and looking forward to working with them because they have direct inroads in getting your comedy album and cuts from it to be played on Sirius XM satellite on a regular basis. For example, John Westling is with 800 Pound Gorilla. And if you're listening to Sirius XM, depending on the channel like Laughs USA, which is a clean comedy, and there's Raw Dog, which is dirty, you'll probably hear some of his stuff, Billy D. Washington, and a bunch of others who were signed with him. So that was kind of the goal, is it opens you up to a little bit more exposure. But the other part was I wanted to be able to, that was a good guess. I wanted to be able to sell these at shows. When I cut it, basically once you cut an album, it's not okay to just go out and do the same stuff and then sell the album. So what I would be doing is new material and selling the album of old material. And that was way better option than selling shirts. So would it be available on iTunes? Yeah. Would it be available on Google Play? Yeah. Spotify? Sure. All of that stuff would be available, but you could also hear it on Sirius XM, God willing, and you'll be able to buy a copy, whether it be a CD or just get a digital download as well. So that was kind of the plan for it all, and then it all fell apart with the record label. So I thought, well, fuck it. I'll just do it all myself. And then I'll just sit here and grind it out and try to find the connections to people on Sirius XM that could get the album on there myself. So we'll see how it goes. Anyways, I thought what's up, Jasper? How are you, man? I thought I'd share that news with you about the comedy album and let you guys know that what the plan is for all the Patreon members. All right, more stories to discuss. What do I want to do next here? Let's do this link. Yeah, let's do this link because this is pretty crazy. Lady, this is the lowest musical note sang by a woman in the history of womankind. And she's Canadian. But I want you to hear this because this is trippy as fuck. Incarnate said Sirius won't be ready for BiffNet. Man, I hope not. No, it wouldn't be a tape. It would be a CD or download. I hope so, Katie. Well, that would be my goal. Is I think I could get 400 people through the door. I want 2 shows, 200 each. I'd market it and try to sell the tickets and put it on Eventbrite and run Facebook ads and all that shit and try to use the Joel Osteen Hurricane Harvey joke as a selling point to get people to come out. So that would be the goal, to try to sell as many tickets as possible. Anyways, let's listen to this lady. Her name is Joy Chapman, and she broke the Guinness World Record for the lowest note sung by a female. What's up, Matt Poche? In the history of the world, Craig. So I'm going to go to the YouTube channels. This is a minute long. I'm going to put it full screen. You don't even really need to see it. You just need to hear it. Although I kind of want you to be able to see it. Let's see.
Hi, I'm Joy Chapman. I'm 52 years old from Surrey, BC, Canada. I'm a singer, songwriter, tribute artist, and I'm about to attempt the Guinness World Record for the lowest female note.
La 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 la, 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 la.
What the fuck?
Right here, we're seeing the C1,
That just made me shit my pants.
33.57 hertz.
And there you go. Congratulations.
C1. That just made me shit my pants. She hit C1. That shit was insane.
La, 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 la.
Cisco said that's a burp.
La, 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 la.
That shit is fucking wild. That shit is cray cray. Wait, why is that still playing? What's going on here? What the fuck is going on? Why is that still playing? Get out my goddamn earphone thing. Okay, that was fucking weird. Voice of an angel. Gave me chills. Made me shit my pants. Shelby said, that sounds like my kid's toy piano when the batteries are about to die. I can't get that low. Nope, I can't get that low. I'll say this: it sounded like my ex-wife when she was hungover the next morning. I'm not making no bacon and eggs. I don't know why my ex-wife sounds like Sling Blade. Not making that bacon and eggs. Raw. Sounds like my old basset hound asleep. How would it sound screwed? Ooh. Damn, if you screwed and chopped that. Oh, player. Oh, man. That's good times. Yeah. What did it say? Francisco said that's a vibrator that's running low on batteries. Jeff Belson, is that a Bobcat? I'm going to shoot that fucker. Sound like she belched. I kind of a little bit. That's what I thought too. When I first heard it, I was like, all right, this sounds fake as fuck. Is she actually singing that? Or did she just belch? CC said she's a Canadian 7. You ain't shit, CC. You are definitely wrong for that. You ain't right at all. All right. Let's see. Link, yes. Oh, you know what? We didn't get to this on Friday. I brought it up, but I never got to it. And it's pretty dope. It's this. So they're building super cities in Saudi Arabia. This city is 170 kilometers long. It is a linear city of the future. It's called a smart city, and it is a direct response to the challenges of congestion with human beings, pollution, traffic, and outdated infrastructure that we see in a lot of cities around the world. So basically, this entire landscape of cities, you'd have 7 million, or excuse me, there would, what was the million? A city of 1 million residents. 95% of nature, 95% of nature within NEOM, 0 cars, 0 streets, and 0 carbon emissions. So in other words, you don't get to buy a car. There's no streets. You see that red line there? That's the way you get from section to section of this city, is through a rail system. Now, it says that the obviously mobility is a big part of the future. It says there's plans for daily services to be within 5 minutes walking distance of each node on the rail line. The longest journey is expected to take no longer than 20 minutes to get from one end of the city to the other. Now, it says the mere thought of a linear city stretching 170 kilometers in the middle of the Saudi desert with no roads or cars, but a futuristic underground transportation system faster than anything currently available sounds like a dream. Yeah, because what they're saying is in order to get from one end of the city to the other, in order to go from one end like if you lived on one end of town and you needed to get to the other end for whatever, that train, to do it in 20 minutes, that train would have to travel at 318 miles an hour. What? That's pretty wild. Current tests have topped out at 288 miles an hour. I don't know if I want to be on anything going that fast, if I'm being honest. I also don't like the fact that I don't have my own mode of transportation, I guess, other than a bicycle or some shit, but there's no streets. So literally the only way to go from city, you're basically trapped. Now, I'm guessing there's no airport. How the fuck do you get to this city? If there's no airport, there's no streets, how do you, I guess at one end of this long ass city is the entry. That's where a road is. And then once you're there, no more roads. You got to take the train to your pod or your part of the city or whatever. I don't know. A lot of questions to be answered. It's a pretty interesting concept and idea. At one point, you can even kind of tell it goes through the mountains. It tunnels through there in a couple of different areas. It's right there by the Red Sea, but I just found it fascinating. I think we always look at a city as a circle in a lot of ways. Like, right? Like the growth of a city, I learned this in real estate. Cities always grow north and west. Most cities, for some reason, when they grow north and west. Most of the time. I don't know why that is, but it's true. Man, can y'all hear my stomach? It sounds like that lady. Ow. Oh, here's a YouTube video. How long is this? Oh, that's 15 minutes. We definitely ain't watching no 15-minute ass YouTube video. Oh, here we go. Here, y'all want to watch a 1-minute video with me on it? Let's see, where is it? Let's go. So this is, I haven't watched this, so I have no idea what this is. But let's check it out together, shall we? Hold on, pause. Why are you playing, you raggedy bitch? Slow down. Okay, let's go. Remove that. Make it small. That's not what she said. All right, let's share this. Okay. Let's squeeze that in there. All right, so this is, I guess, a video about this. Oh, yeah. Get there by boat. That's a good idea, Tony. So who lives on the wrong side of the tracks? Everybody, Rob. I guess everybody's on the right side of the tracks. See, that's what I'm wondering, Fidel. How the fuck do you get there? Oh, yeah. Of course. Okay, check this out. This is a video on it.
Contemporary cities couldn't cope with growth. The contemporary city needs a full redesign. What if we removed cars?
Cars.
What if we got rid of streets?
Oh, look at Thanos snapping.
What if we innovated in the public space? What if we built around nature instead of over it? What if everything you needed was always a 5-minute walk away? What if invisible technology generates carefree and open urban space?
What the fuck is that?
What if sustainability was not a goal, but a given? What if we replaced outdated urban services with new services driven by artificial intelligence?
Oh, no thank you.
What if we built The Line?
Sounds like a movie.
A 170-kilometer revolution in urban living. Protecting the Earth's most stunning nature while creating unmatched livability. A home to all of us. Welcome to The Line. Neom.
I don't know, in a way that felt very dystopian, right? Like it felt very like I was in a movie or the beginning of a video game, and she'd be like, and my name is Jenna, and I survived the line. I don't know. It just, it had a very weird feel to it. Now, Scott, that's a great point. Scott brings up a great point. What if they did this on Mars? This might be the next step to that, right? Like you have self-sustaining cities. Obviously, you need a bubble generating the oxygen, but the artificial intelligence, that's the part that freaks me out a little bit. Oh, that's a good one, Fidel. It does sound like a Black Mirror episode. I feel like there's look, I'm okay with some artificial intelligence. I mean, we use Siri and shit like that, and they're already tracking what we watch and what we say. They're out to get us. But I also don't want an entire city that relies on artificial intelligence. That seems a little scary to me. I mean, it's got a very Matrix feel to it. But, you know, what the fuck are you going to do? Mark G said, yeah, I missed hour 1 and 2 on Friday. How dare you? How dare you, young man? What did Mark G say? Is all the Bobcat talk about the old man that yeeted the Bobcat? Yes. Yes. Tony said, just watch Total Recall. Terrence said, so it would be for people and not just Saudi, right? Yeah, I imagine you could move there. I don't think that they're building it just for their people. It said all people. I mean, it's got to be built somewhere, and you got to have those funds to do it. And Saudi, a very rich country, obviously because of the oil. So I imagine they would let people live there that weren't Saudi nationals. But well, you know, that's a good question. I wonder if at first it would only be open, like they would probably say, okay, it's going to be limited to 1 million people max, right? Each of these pods has 100,000 people in it or whatever. Each of these, you know, along this linear line, and there's 10 of them. They're spread out every 10 miles or so or whatever. I don't know. But I imagine that you would have to apply to live there. I can't imagine they would just let you move there just randomly. Because if you're trying to control population, if you're trying to control and limit, you know, you can't just open it up, because if it's built artificially and all the resources are set for a max amount. The crazy thing is you have to allow for growth, right? If you're building a linear, I'm thinking about this out loud. If you're building a linear city that you say can sustain 1 million people on its own, autonomously, people are going to have kids. Yeah, people are going to die, but, you know, for every one death, you might have 2 births. How are you going to control the population in that way? That's the thing about cities right now, these sprawling landscapes. That's why they grow, because populations go up, not down. So there's going to have to be a finite limit. Like, look, if you're a couple with no kids, to live here, you can't have kids. You can only have 1. I don't know. I'm out. Incarnate said, wasn't this movie called Minority Report? Demona said, I would not live there with all those bullshit rules they have. I mean, look, they have the rules for a reason. They have, I mean, they're trying to do the right thing, I think. I understand conceptually what they're doing, but I mean, there's just a lot of unanswered questions and a lot of things they got to consider. One, first and foremost, is what we just talked about, population growth. How are you going to deal with population growth in a linear city? I don't know. Oh, what else is on my agenda that I wanted to get to? I wanted to make sure that we got to it today. Got the woman singing the linear city. I moved those up. Oh! We didn't discuss this last week, and you guys know my fascination with UFOs. How long is this video? This video is 42 seconds. We haven't watched this yet. I'm sure some of you have seen this. I think it was actually posted on the Discord, so this might not be new to you if you're on the Discord, but I did want to cover this on the show because I think it is show worthy. Let me zoom out here a little bit. Boop, 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 boop. And shrink it. Not what she said. There we go. Okay. So this is basically the U.S. Navy photographed and filmed pyramid-shaped UFOs and advanced transmedium vehicles and got footage of it. I haven't actually watched all of this yet. I saw a clip and was like, I'm going to save that for the show. So this is what it looks like, though. So there's the triangles. So what that says on the screen, if you can't see it, it says, hold on, get the fuck out of the way. USS Russell observed 3X UNK UAS seemingly triangular in shape from the angle of observation, hovering approximately 700 feet over RSL's fantail. 2 of the UAS are pictured above. Let's see what else it shows. I mean, it does look a little sus. This says USS Omaha observed a possible UAS. I guess that means UFO. I guess that's fancy talk for UFO. Observed a possible UAS spherical in shape moving towards the surface of the water and then disappearing. OMA assessed the object had sunk. Attempts to search the water for wreckage were ineffective. Now, one thing about that, I get it. You know, you think it's sunk because it went into the water, but it could also have gone over the horizon and look like it sunk that way and look like it went into the water and maybe just disappeared over the curvature of the earth. So let's not jump to conclusions there just yet. All right, here we go. What else? Oh, here's the video. That's crazy looking. Oh, there's the triangle. What the fuck? That's crazy. Look, there's 2 more. Now that might just be lens flare. Look at the pulsing. That was pretty wild. I want to watch that again. Because I think that some of that is lens flare. I'd like to know what this is. So the blinking, now the blinking is pretty interesting. I'm not so worried about the ones that you're seeing over there on the left. One of the things is, I mean, my first thought when I see this is stealth bomber. That's the one thing about UFOs that you have to take into account. My first thought when I see this is, well, that could just be like a stealth bomber or a version of the stealth bomber that we haven't seen yet. Could you imagine in 1980s or early 90s, you're out in your yard, you know, you and Martha, and you're doing your fucking petunias, and you look up and you see a stealth bomber flying over you, and you hadn't seen one of those yet. You would be like, that's a goddamn alien. That is not a plane I've ever seen. That is an alien. We need to call the law. Martha, bring me the cellular phone. And you got that big long ass antenna and you're like, boop, boop. It might even be a rotary cell phone. But so when you saw one of those back in the day, you might be like, that's an alien. So this could be. I'm not suggesting that it is or isn't, but this could be something that we haven't seen yet. A military craft we haven't seen. Now, obviously, they're not going to tell us, but that looks interesting. And it does, I mean, it doesn't look fake. What the fuck just happened there? That was weird. Oh, what is this? Z Laner's live. Oh, wow. Big discrepancy. Z Laner in my live stream. I don't know why it just minimized like that. That was weird. All I'm saying is this. Don't jump to conclusions on the video. I'm a UFO guy. I believe in UFOs. I believe in extraterrestrials. I believe there's other forms of life out there in the universe. But when you think about some of the evolution of flight that we've seen in this country and others, you can't just jump to conclusions and think it's not man-made. Although it did look different, but we're never going to get the truth from, you know, the government. I'm not trying to be all Alex Jones on everybody. Hey, they're making the frogs gay. Just saying, they're not going to come out and tell us, yeah, we got a fucking triangle plane flying around. I don't know why my nose is so goddamn itchy today. It's driving me absolutely insane. I'm so sorry. It's just killing me. I don't know. Y'all stop talking shit about me. No, one thing you will never talk shit about. Dan Seafood and Wings. That's right. That's a professional transition, folks. If you're looking for some of the best crawfish in the city of Houston, get your booty on out to Dan's. Go to eatadans.com. I'm telling you right now, eatatdans.com is the place. They got 2 locations for you. One on the southwest side off South Gessner, one on the northeast side off Uvalde. Whichever one you go to. I'm privy to going to the, I'm partial, I should say, if we're going to the Uvalde one. It's closer. Make the drive, though. It's absolutely worth it. It is legitimately some of the best seafood and shrimp and crawfish in the city. Hands down, you're going to love it. Cece loved it. Donna and Fidel, they all went together. PK has been. Francisco loves the lo mein. You guys, I'm telling you, Dan's Seafood is the ish. Nora will not eat any other boiled spicy shrimp anywhere else. In fact, when Dan's was up for renewal on this show, she was like, God, I hope they renew because I really want to keep eating their boiled spicy shrimp. We go, we pay, we are patrons of Dan's. And I told her, look, even if they don't advertise anymore, we'll still go to Dan's. It's that freaking good, okay? So go check it out. Go to eatadans.com right now. Follow them on Instagram. Eat at Dan's on Instagram. Check out the crawfish. They've got several different flavors for you. My pro tip is add the boiled spicy shrimp to the crawfish. You can't go wrong with that. They're doing the boiled eggs in the crawfish like everybody is now, but it's boiled spicy shrimp. It's New Orleans barbecue shrimp. My brother-in-law, Ray Lucio, tried the po' boys. His crew, they loved it. I'm telling you right now, if it's seafood, make it Dan's Seafood and Wings. Eat at dans.com. And when you're there, if they ask, or hell, even if they don't, tell them Barry sent you. Do me that solid. Okay. Back to the chat. Some of you guys have comments. Yes, it is yum. What's a map, Tony? Shut up. I don't know if it is allergies. You know, it's like, it's not like inside or anything like that. It could be allergies. It's just, I don't know. It's like right on the edge. It just tickles in there. Almost like maybe my nose hair is growing and I need to trim it. I don't know. White Magic said, but Barry, aliens weren't on Noah's Ark, so they don't exist. Okay, I'm out for real this time. White Magic is in here throwing in bombs and trying to leave. I mean, look, of all of the tales of the Bible, Noah's Ark is one of those ones where you're like, it's a little difficult. It's a little harder for me to wrap my mind around that one. I mean, walking on water, okay, but maybe Jesus was a magician, right? I mean, water into wine, again, that could be magic. But the ark story, that's a tough pill to swallow when you consider how many millions upon millions of species of animals exist, and the hundreds of thousands that we don't even know about yet. We're always finding new creatures on distant islands and in the ocean. And then if you're like, well, they could have evolved. Oh, what? I mean, they could have been the originals and then evolved. Oh, shit. It is difficult to wrap my mind around that. That's not, I mean, that doesn't debunk religion, by the way. I don't want anyone thinking I'm saying that. I'm just saying that, yeah, some of these stories, we know why they're done. The Bible wasn't meant to be an actual accounting of history. If you don't look at it that way, you're good. But if you try to read and examine the Bible as, well, this is how it all happened, yeah, you're going to be disappointed. I don't believe that's the case. Read Revelations. That dude was high as fuck. It's true. I don't have the COVID itch. I'm fully vaccinated, you raggedy bitch. Damn it. I do not have the COVID itch. Tony said, I've tried splitting a scene, never worked. Nick Gamboa said, yes, the stealth flights were once UFO. See, unidentified flying object, which is a UFO. It doesn't necessarily mean it's alien. It just means it's unidentified. They were classified and no one had ever seen before and didn't know about. See, thank you, Nick Gamboa, speaking rational. I like that. Okay, let's see here. Now, some of you may not give a shit about this, and I get it if you don't, but I just wanted to talk a little bit about this because Dave Chappelle has basically bought an entire city in Ohio. I wonder if Jen's ever been there. She's an Ohioan. Is that the right name? Ohioan? Ohioite? Ohite? Hoite? What is it? Ohioan, Jen? Is she even here? I swear to God, I made her a moderator. If she left, I'm gonna be so angry. I think it's Ohioan. I could be wrong, but Dave Chappelle basically has purchased no, not a Buckeye. Stop it, Walt. I'm trying to put this full screen for you guys. That's just Ohio State, Walt. So the city in question, she said, I'm here, bitch. I love when people call me a bitch. It's like my favorite thing. What is the city? Where is it? It is Yellow Springs. Yellow Springs. Joe Coy was talking about this. He said, man, Dave pretty much owns every building in the town. And he brings in comedians. Yes, it is his hometown. He brings in comedians, big names like Joe Coy. And who else did he bring in? Michelle Wolf, Ali Wong, Tiffany Haddish, Donnell Rawlings. He's there. He brought in Mo Amer, Houston guy. And he records these things. And when he brings them in, he flies these comedians in on private jets. He said, Joe Coy said, everything that Dave does is first class. We're talking private jets, all expense paid. Getting off the plane, you go right into an SUV. They have a bunch of SUVs. From the SUVs right to the hotel that's probably 200 years old. He said everything's beautiful there. It's like sleeping in a museum. They do rapid COVID testing. He said everything he did was A-class, from the sound system to the cameras. Everything's documented, by the way. It's nothing special. Oh, it's another special. If you want to drop it, he can do it tomorrow. It's so amazing. And just the people I shared the stage with. So he's basically, what he's done is he's bought up everything in town. Joe Coy said, quote, he's literally trying to save that town. He bought every building in that town he owns. They should change the name to Chappelle Land or some shit. This is Joe Coy. He said everyone was traveling all over the country to be there. It was like Woodstock. It was crazy. It was bumper to bumper. Every business in town was thriving. And it was all because of Dave and the way he walks around town. Everyone respects him. No one's running up to him to take pictures. You're fucking Dave Chappelle. You're the biggest comedian in the world. People are just walking up to you. And that's the beauty of Dave Chappelle. He's a loving man. He's a great father. He's a great husband. And it shows in that town. He loves that town and they love him. And he even said that they don't really like bother him. They're just like, man, whatever. Yeah, it's Dave. He's here. Jen said it's a tiny town. She said it was beautiful though. Did I see that? Oh, Yellow Springs is the best. Spent lots of times there in college outside of Dayton. So Barry's love language is Jameson and the word bitch. Yeah, I mean, kind of. That's pretty accurate. That's pretty accurate. No, I'm not flying you to Moe's, Tony. You're not a fucking comedian. He's not flying in the crowd, you moron. He's flying in other comedians. What an idiot. You think he flies in the crowd? No. People go there on their own to watch this shit. Barry needs to buy up Cut and Shoot. I think I got like $7 around here somewhere. Probably get enough together. Watch Chappelle on Letterman's Netflix show, They Walk Through His Town. Oh, yeah, I do need to watch that. I've never watched one of Letterman's shows on Netflix. Is it good? It felt like kind of a leap of faith for Dave because you go from being so popular on, network TV. And then obviously Netflix is popular, but you get to it and it's like, it's not the same. You don't have the same kind of audience. People that are going to watch you on Netflix are diehard David Letterman fans. You're probably not going to get a bunch of millennials and Gen Zers who are just like, who's this Santa Claus looking motherfucker? Let's go. No, what is this? I need to do that. How did Nora ruin your plans? What are you talking about? Nora ruined my plans for what, D-Motto? What the fuck are you talking about? Nick said, you got $7. Wow, you'll get your money back. Oh, I'll get money back. Terrence is going to help me buy it. Oh, that's good shit. Francisco, can you imagine the lawns in Barrytown? Boy, that's the thing. You better have a good lawn in Barrytown or you're going to be fucking made to be a fool. You mentioned at the beginning of the show, Nora ruined your plans. Oh, I was talking to my brother Ray. I was going to go, my brother-in-law Ray. So Nora and I have their dad's tiller here for the yard work and stuff. And Ray needed it. And I was going to go hang out with Ray this weekend and take him the tiller and just shoot the shit. And then Nora was like, well, Nancy and I are going to go shopping in the Heights. And I was like, I'm out. Tell Ray I said hello. I'm not going shopping in the Heights. So, yeah, it was just a personal thing, D-Mata. It was just, family shit. Just, it's not important, I guess. No, comedians in cars getting coffee, Tony. Riding in cars. Jesus. That's the thing, Donna. If I felt like it was important and interesting, I would have told the story. Wasn't that important or interesting, so no need to. Yeah, bro, if you got weeds in your lawn, you're getting kicked out of Berrytown. Go live in that linear city in Saudi Arabia in the desert because your lawn looks like a fucking desert. But comedians in cars getting coffee is really good. Not all of them. Some of them are good. Some of them are kind of eh. But you do get some good insight into the comedy game. Yeah. Speaking of that, before we go, I had an idea. I don't know if I shared this with you guys a while. I don't know if I shared it with you a while back, but I was thinking about doing a show once a month at a club, a comedy show. But I want to blend sports and comedy. I think there's a market for that, right? Like, I mean, we're all sports fans. A lot of you guys found me through ESPN radio, but some of you may have found me, if you're watching this later or whatever, some of you may have found me through comedy and just stuck around and started listening to me on the radio or vice versa. I don't know. But I want to blend sports and comedy. So I actually have an idea for a show where it's very similar to the idea that Alan Adams is doing with couples therapy. If you guys have ever been to one of the couples therapy shows, basically the way it works is you show up, there's 5 comedians. They each do about 10 to 15 minutes. So that's the first, half of the show. And then there's a panel of experts, right? So all of these comedians give out couples advice. They give out sex advice, relationship advice, and it's a really fun show. It's a lot of fun because there's crowd interaction and the comedians are roasting each other on stage while you talk about sex and everything. Now, my thought, and I'm willing to listen to opinions on this. Some of you are just going to say dumb shit and I will ignore it. Flip said Barry in white windowless vans. No, that would be a horrible show. Some say it can't be done, but I think you can make sports funny. I think you can have fun doing sports. Here's my idea. What I think is I want to get 4 comedians plus me. So there's 5 of us. We each do like a 10 or 15 minute set. All right. And then we have it's like a sports debate show, not like First Take, but in a way, but like debate rules, like high school debate rules apply. So like, for example, let's just take the writers for Barry on Sports. So it's Kanice, it's Chris Rogers, and it's Sun Tran, right? Kanice Nana, Chris Rogers, Sun Tran. Those 3 comedians helped me write it. So I would bring in them and then maybe John Wessling, right? And put 2 on one side, 2 on the other. There would be topics, and it would be treated like a high school debate. They would have to make their arguments, and there would be points and judges, and I think it would be a lot of fun. And so I would love to be able to do that once a month. I'm going to start working on that once I get all these other projects wrapped up. But that's my idea, because I've been forever, people have been like, Barry, you need to try to do stand-up comedy in sports somehow. I don't even tell sports jokes in my stand-up. Just because I don't want to write, it's usually going to be a topical joke. That's what like Barry on Sports is for here on YouTube. But I think it would be, yeah, I mean, you could do crowd response for who won the debate or whatever. But I think it would be, fun, especially if you got comics debating sports and talking shit about it and basically just end up roasting each other. I think it'd be a good time. I don't know. That's my idea. Just since we were talking albums and ideas and everything else, I think I'm going to work on that. All right, so that's it. That is another Barry on Deck. Fun times today. Talked a lot of soccer and MMA. On this show, we had soccer talk and no one got banned. Can you believe it? Yeah, do me a favor, like Aaron J. Bryan said, hit that like button on the way out. We need 4 to get to 65, and I sure would love that. That would be awesome. Fun diddly fun. Thanks for for being here, PK. I hope you had a good time on your stream. I hope it was successful. I'm glad you hit your goal, by the way. Very pleased to hear that. Flip said I'm on a new account. Too much trouble. I feel you, man. All right. Tomorrow, I'm joined by Christopher Hart. The Whiskey and Eat Show. It's always interesting when he pops in. 69. So until tomorrow when we talk again, and I promise no soccer. Until then, be safe. Be kind. Most importantly, love each other. See y'all tomorrow. Daddy's making a YouTube video!